Hey guys, today we're looking at the most entitled people on Reddit. Am I the a-hole for telling my family that I kept the gift I was going to give my sister, since we're apparently allowed to do that? Post by MotorStray8487. My sister, 15 female, is the favourite golden child, the pampered princess, a title our parents gave her, and the light of our lives, another title from our parents. When we were younger, it wasn't so bad. She was easy to be around and we were close. I, 17 male, loved her, and even when she annoyed me, it was the normal stuff and I could get over being annoyed really quickly. But when she turned 8, it was like a different kid emerged. It all started with my parents helping her buy me a gift for Christmas, and then they let her keep it instead. I just got one less gift and she got one more gift for Christmas. Then she started doing that all the time, and it wasn't just me. There was a big fight at our old BFF's 10th birthday party because my sister regretted giving her friend the birthday gift that my parents helped her get, so she took it back. The birthday girl and her parents tried to stop her, but our parents told her that it was their money that bought the gift, and the birthday girl hadn't opened it yet, so they could decide to keep it. That ended that friendship, and my sister was forever blacklisted from several kids' birthday parties and even their houses after that. Anytime she made a new friend, the same thing would happen, and even at sleepovers, she'd pull the same BS by getting food just for her, with the money that our parents left for 2 or even 3 of them. I talked to her about that stuff a few times, but she just ignored me. One time I told her, she started crying and saying she didn't get why I hated her. I told her to stop being such a baby and got in big trouble. When I told our parents that they were making her the worst to be around, they told me that we both get treated equally and any perceived favoritism was insecurity on my part and not actual favoritism. Our relationship got way worse, and then on my birthday last year, my sister told me that she had proved that she still knew me and we could be close, and she chose the right gift for me. But she kept it to herself because she wanted it, and then she claimed like 4 of the other gifts I got for Christmas. And because of my attitude both times, my parents didn't give me any gifts at all because they said I should be grateful for the thought. Yeah, it's totally not favoritism. It's just, your insecurity. I bet the people who bought him those 4 gifts would be horrified to learn that his parents had let his sister steal them from him. So I was like, F it this time. My sister's birthday wasn't too long ago, and I decided to buy myself something. And I got it for me, even though I knew she'd like it, but not just for that reason. Ever since I got a part-time job, my parents have insisted that I buy gifts for them and my sister out of the money that I earn, and I wasn't doing that. So on her birthday, I told them that I decided to keep the gift I got for her, since we're apparently allowed to do that. They literally aren't even buying OP gifts anymore, yet they're demanding that their teenage son buy gifts for them out of the money they earns? Yeah, what the F? My sister cried and asked me why, and basically whined that she really wanted to play the game I got, and she didn't know why I was such a jerk. My parents got so mad that I thought they'd pass out. They told me that I was such a bully, and for a boy to bully a girl is incomprehensible, but my victim being my own sister made it even worse. So they're admitting that she's been bullying him this whole time, and they've been enabling it? I told them that I was just doing what she was allowed to do, and I didn't see why it was bullying when I do it, but not when she does it. They told me that I did it maliciously, but she just got excited for the gifts. They said that she's younger, so she's not expected to be on my level. I was grounded for a while, but I was able to stop them accessing the game, so it's still mine. And I hid my money so they couldn't take it and make the purchase on my behalf. My sister asked me if I hated her, like halfway through my punishment, and I told her that I don't need to answer her, and I didn't want to speak to her. I told her she needs to leave me the F alone. It pissed my parents even more off, and they brought up the birthday stuff and said that I'm punishing my sister for being young. Am I the a-hole? Girl is 15, not 5. Down in the comments, some pointed out exactly what I was thinking. Not the a-hole, they're setting your sister up for failure. since they let her take back gifts that she got for other people, and even gifts that they bought you. She's going to expect that and think that she can do that as an adult. Imagine her trying to take the group gift that her coworkers got for the boss because I paid for part of it and I like it, so it's mine. HR is not going to be like your parents. Yep, I guess the parents are trying to give the kid the most magical childhood possible, but unless she's a literal princess, real life is gonna hit her like a freaking truck. Ironically, the kid that they didn't really care about is actually the lucky one. At least OP's going into the world prepared. He'll probably have a way better life. Well, she's just gonna be so confused as to why the world just doesn't revolve around her. Wait, is this the origin story of a Karen? My coworker said that I stole her baby name, but I don't even have a baby, or a boyfriend, or plans. Post by Eurosism. So, this happened a few weeks ago at work, and I'm still confused if I hallucinated the whole thing. For context, I, 27 female, work in a small office, and one of my coworkers, let's call her Amanda, 30 female, is currently pregnant with her second kid. We're not close, we've never hung out, I don't have her number, and the most we've ever talked about is whose turn it is to clean the microwave. That's it. Anyway, we were in the break room, and I made an offhand comment about baby names. I said something like, if I ever have a daughter, I'd probably name her Eliza. I've just always loved that name. That's it. One sentence. Not even a big dramatic conversation. Just passing time while waiting for my sad little microwave lunch. She goes dead silent and just stares at me. Then she says, "You knew I was going to name my baby Eliza! You saw it on my Pinterest board!" Ma'am, what? I blinked and told her, I don't follow you on Pinterest. Because, again, we're not friends. I wouldn't even know how to find her Pinterest board if someone offered me a reward. She gets super defensive and starts telling everyone in the office that I am copying her and trying to steal her moment. Like, girl, I don't even have a boyfriend. My last date ghosted me before we even met for coffee. The only thing I'm expecting is a migraine from dealing with this drama. But it didn't stop there. The next day, she brought in cupcakes for someone's birthday, pointedly skipping giving me one, and then said, loud enough for me to hear, "Some people just have no originality. First they take names, what's next, my husband?" At that point, even the boss had to step in and ask her to cool it. Now everyone at work jokes that I better not say I like the name Olivia, or I'll get hit with a cease and desist. Sounds like everyone's just taking the piss out of her. It's just so ridiculous. Like, I get being hormonal, I get being sensitive about baby stuff, but how is someone stealing a name if they're not pregnant, not trying to get pregnant, and not even in a relationship? I'm literally out here just trying to keep my plants alive and hoping my landlord doesn't raise rent again. Babies aren't even in the top 100 of my concerns. Anyway, I've been avoiding name conversations at all costs now. Next time someone asks me what I'm gonna name a baby, I'm saying refrigerator and walking away. Down in the comments, Cute Outcome says, I'm a petty bee who would get a goldfish for my desk named Eliza. Cute little nameplate and everything. My cousin thinks he deserves a cut of my salary because I got hired after talking job hunting in his living room. Post by my induction. A few months ago, I visited my cousin for a casual afternoon hangout. I'd just moved into my own place in the city and was in the middle of job hunting. Nothing serious, we were just catching up and talking about where life was heading. While I was there, one of his friends came over, and he seemed cool. The three of us ended up talking about careers, choices, timing, typical adult catch-up stuff. I happened to mention that I was looking for roles in a specific industry. It wasn't a pitch or a request, just part of the flow of the conversation. Apparently that friend remembered because a few days later, he reached out and said he might be able to connect me with someone hiring. I followed up, sent in my resume, went through the standard hiring process, that is, interviews, reference checks, the usual, and a few weeks later, I got the job. It was a great opportunity, and I was thankful that he helped connect me. My cousin said congrats at first, but soon enough, he started acting strange. He began saying things like, the job only happened because I was at his house when the conversation took place. He started hinting that he deserved something for it. He was blatantly suggesting a small cut of my salary every month. Then one day, he actually sent me his bank details and said that I should send him some money regularly since the connection came through his house. I never replied, and then I started hearing some awful things he's been saying about me behind my back to relatives and even some mutual friends. It still blows my mind that someone thinks they deserve money just because I talked about my goals in their living room. Oh my god, that is hilarious. Just jokes to his mutuals about how funny it is that he expects a cut of your salary just because he was in the general vicinity when you met the guy with the connection. Don't do a scratchy near him, he'll expect a cut of your winnings if he's too close. Healthy Brain says, if anyone should be getting a cut, surely it's his friend, no? Since the cousin did nothing but be there? And apparently OP did actually offer the friend something as a token of appreciation, but the friend declined. Someone else said, ask your cousin if you can get the friend's bank details, just to mess with him a little more. Entitled Mother thinks that I should give my diabetic snacks to her daughter. Post by X Jane Doe. So, I'm a type 1 diabetic, and in the morning, I went out for a bike ride. As I'm diabetic, I always bring snacks with me, just in case I go low or get hungry. I bring a juice box and a few granola bars, just enough for me to be able to correct my blood sugar level twice and have a small snack. As I was biking home, I passed someone sitting on the ground who looked kinda distressed, so I pulled over and asked if they were okay. The guy was a little younger than me and told me that he was diabetic. He explained that he'd gone low while biking, but had forgotten to refill the snacks in his bag before he'd left, so he was trying to figure out what to do. I offered him my snacks and to sit with him while we waited for it to go back up. I explained that I was also diabetic. After I'd sat down with him and given him some of my snacks, a woman came over and asked for my juice box for her daughter. I explained that I was giving him what I had because he was diabetic and had low blood sugar, and that I needed the rest to ensure that I could get home safely. She started to tell me that she and her daughter had been biking for hours, and she was hungry and just wanted my juice box and granola bar. I asked if her daughter was diabetic, and she said no, so I apologised and again explained nicely that I need those things for myself. This is the conversation that followed. Entitled Mother, so why did you give him some? Me, because he's diabetic and his blood sugar is very low. Entitled Mother, do you know him? Me, no, but as a diabetic, I know how dangerous lows can be, and if I was in his position, I'd hope a fellow diabetic would try and help me. Entitled Mother, so you don't know him. That's all she took from that? The conversation continued with her asking why I cared if I didn't know him, and me giving her the same explanation, until the guy rechecked his blood sugar. As it was still a little too low for comfort, I grabbed my juice to give to him, and this is when Entitled Mother tried to grab it out of my hand, saying that if his blood sugar was still too low, I should just call an ambulance, and then I can give all my snacks to her and her daughter. Oh my god, this lady's priorities! She is not some bike trail worker providing snacks to all the visitors. You are not entitled to her food. And even if this guy's health wasn't more important than her kid being hungry, which it absolutely is, it's her food. She can give it or not give it to whoever she pleases. God, the audacity of this lady. She doesn't know you either. At this point, I was honestly kind of pissed and told her to F off, and that as a mum, she should have thought to bring snacks for her daughter. If I hadn't come by, what would she have done? She went red in the face, called me a and stormed back to her daughter. The guy's levels went up and we parted ways. As I started to bike away, I heard the mum shout after me, calling me a bitch again. Lovely woman. If you made it all the way to the end, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!